What's up, Solana? My name's Noah, and I've been building both Wumbo and Strata protocol. Today I want to show you something that we're open sourcing because I think it's generally useful for everybody on Solana. Everybody's been trying to get access to their data and get some use out of it. Now, the graph is coming to Solana, and Chain Crunch is already here. Both are awesome solutions and will solve the great majority of your problems, but if you're trying to get a little more custom or just do some debugging, you need more. And that's where this comes in. So you can see here I've got a Docker Compose that's running that's listening to events from DevNet and putting them into a messaging queue called Kafka. Now this works on mainnet as well. We did it during the Wumbo beta. It just costs a little bit more. It's horizontally scalable, but you always have to pay for the compute that you're putting into horizontal scaling. So here we can see a ton of events coming in, most of which are token account balance changes. Now, there are other events in here, and with this you can write any kind of custom plugin that you want to parse your transaction binary for your program. Or, if you happen to use Anchor and you provide it your IDL, it'll automatically parse it into JSON for you. Now, why would we want this? Well, once we have a clean topic filled with a bunch of events, we can subscribe to those and do whatever we want with them. So we can put them in a database and index them exactly how we want to, or we can react to the changes. So one interesting use case for Wumbo is that we're building social tokens. And in particular, we're making it so anybody can create a social token for somebody else to come claim later. But with that, you want people to, one, know that someone created a social token for them, and two, have the ability to opt out if they don't want a social token at all. In particular, we want to tweet at them when someone creates a token. Well, with this, we can accomplish that. So if we come over to Wumbo, we can mint a token for Toli. And then, after we create this token, we can go ahead and buy some. So one of the neat things about Wumbo is you can launch a token without needing any kind of liquidity provider because it's all on a bonding curve. This makes it really easy to launch a token for anybody. Particularly, I'm Noah, nobody knows who I am. There's not really going to be a counterparty for any trades against my token. Now, I'm sure Toli wouldn't have this problem. So if we come over here, we can see it's going to be kind of hard to find our event here. Luckily, Kafka comes with this thing called KSQLDB, which lets you run SQL on top of your Kafka events. This is a pretty powerful ETL tool, and it's really easy to use. So I'm not going to go through all the SQL here, but you can see that we are creating special topics that have filtered down and parsed out events. What that means is we can have a topic like this that is all the events that happen from my smart contract. And we can create an even more specific topic here, which is unclaimed coin creation. Here we can see that a coin was created for Anatoly. Now, all we have to do is write a little program that listens to this Kafka topic, has some Twitter credentials, and posts a tweet at Toli letting him know that someone created a token for him. Now, that's not all we can do. Recall that we bought a token. Well, we can come here, and we can see that, hey, I did in fact get 577 of those tokens, and Toli, if he were to go claim that token, would actually have gotten 30.41. And they'll continue getting those tokens as more people buy them. Now, this brings us to another interesting thing about having your events in Kafka: data indexing. So Solana lets you get the top 20 token holders for a given token, but what if you want the 21st or the 25th? This is particularly useful in social tokens where you care about more than just your top 20 followers. You want to reward everybody. And equally, people want to see what rank they are amongst the followers. And that is where our data pipelines come in. So we're able to just subscribe to this topic and insert it into a Redis sorted set. If you don't know what Redis sorted sets are, they just make it really easy to get ordered data and get your rank within that ordered data quickly. So if we come here, we can actually see all the sorted sets that we've created. So there's not too much going on DevNet Wumbo, except for my computer struggling a little bit right now. But here we have a few tokens, and we can see their holders, and we can also see all of the different tokens and how they rank against each other in terms of how much value is locked in their bonding curves. Now, we're open sourcing this because it's up to the community what you want to do with this. I think generally people having the ability to get their data into a Kafka topic is useful. I know it's very Web 2, but if you're just trying to do analytics, that's good enough. And hopefully with enough people running this, you can also get multiple sources of truth for the same data. Now, the stage that this is at is it's beta software. We used it for the Wumbo beta, and it works. It doesn't have as much monitoring or dashboards as I would like. You can go and check out your data, and we also have a Terraform repo that lets you deploy this whole thing to AWS and scale it as much as you want to. We're hoping with open sourcing this that as a community we can kind of hack on it and get it to be more and more stable and more useful until more, pronounced decentralized data solutions come our way that can solve these types of problems. Let us know what you think. It's pretty easy to set up. If you're familiar with Docker, all you need to do is pull down the repository, change some environment variables in the Docker Compose, point it at whichever validator you want to take data from, and then let it run. This also has the ability to backfill, so you can run it on past blocks. I would just make sure you're using your own RPC. You don't want to, take up a public resource asking it for blocks. I should also mention that this whole pipeline operates on pool semantics, which means it's okay if it gets behind. It's never asking anything to push data to it. It is instead asking for data, and that means that it will eventually catch up. And that's generally the way you want to run these things, because when stuff gets bursty, you want to be able to catch up. Anyway, thanks for watching if you made it this far, and let me know what you think.